Are you thinking about opening up an LLC, but you're not exactly sure if you need one? Most people mess up their LLC before they even make their first dollar. Setting up an LLC is easy, setting it up correctly is the hard part. In this video, I'm going to break down everything you need to know to set up an LLC from start to finish. By the end of this video, you should know how to form it correctly, run it properly, and avoid common IRS mistakes. All right, let's walk through this step by step. Step 1, super easy, choosing a name for your LLC. If you already have a business name, you could actually use that. If not, you'll need to choose a name that complies with your state laws. Most states require the term LLC designated in the name. An example would be Mary's Muffins LLC. The key here is making sure no other business has that name already. If you file with a name that's already taken, it will be rejected by the state. A tip is, when filing online, you could always look up if that name is already being used or not. And by the way, some states let you reserve that name for a small fee. Step 2 is assigning a registered agent. I'm sure you've heard this term if you've been researching about LLCs or opening up an LLC. So every LLC is actually required to have one. I know registered agent sounds fancy and confusing, but all that it is someone who can accept legal documents on behalf of the LLC. So this includes like state notices, government notices, maybe even lawsuits. The registered agent must have a physical address in the state where you're forming your LLC. Key thing to know here is if you live in that state, you yourself could act as a registered agent. You don't need to go pay for these online services. Do your research. Some states may vary, but oftentimes you could just put your own address and be a registered agent and get your own documents. So this is why people form entities in Delaware often. Delaware is very popular because of its business-friendly legal system. Step 3, filing your articles of organizations, AIO. This is where it gets juicy. So think of this document as what officially creates your LLC. Each state has different requirements, but they all ask for similar information. Some examples are the business name, the purpose of your business, how the LLC is going to be managed, and things like your registered agent's contact information. At least one owner must sign this before filing the LLC. Keep in mind, some states like New York and Nebraska, they require you to have a public notice of your formation. So that means like putting it in the newspaper that you actually formed this LLC. AIOs are very important. Whenever you create them, download it, save it to your email, save it to your Google Drive. You'll need this in the future. Most filings are done online and the fee is usually around $100, $200. If you have any questions about the AIO, you could always ask a CPA. It's actually not that complicated. Okay, step 4 to forming your LLC is deciding how the LLC is going to be managed. So there's two options here. There's member managed and there's manager managed. I know it sounds a little weird, but let's break it down very simply. Member managed means the owners are running the business themselves. For example, you yourself are the business owner, you would be member managed running the business. Manager managed means you are assigning to a manager who is not the business owner to be running or operating this LLC. This decision should be made before you open the LLC, but oftentimes it's going to be member managed if you're opening this up for yourself. Step 5, the most important step here is creating an operating agreement, an OA. Most states don't legally require this to open up an LLC, but you're making a big mistake if you don't have one. An operating agreement is going to define exactly how your LLC is going to operate. This is very important. It outlines responsibilities, capital contributions, how you split profits, what happens in times of disputes, everything. You're always going to refer back to the operating agreement. That's why it's so important. Keep in mind, if you have partners, this is a must-do step. You cannot skip this. And in many cases, if you have a partner, you could even use an attorney to draft this operating agreement. Now, let me tell you about some common mistakes I see people do when opening up an LLC. Mistake number 1, opening up an LLC before you even need one. Many people open it up when they don't have any income or even any activity yet. This opens you up to unnecessarily filing and compliance issues that aren't needed. Mistake number 2, super common, mixing personal money and business money. This can totally destroy your liability protection. Always open a separate business bank account, always. Mistake number 3 is thinking an LLC will just automatically save you on taxes. You have to remember, an LLC does not reduce your taxes. It is just a shell to protect you from liability. Tax savings comes from strategy, not from structure of opening up an LLC. Mistake number 4 is ignoring annual state requirements. Misfilings could lead to loss of good standings and will just cause you issues that are unnecessary. These mistakes are easy to avoid. Keep these in mind. All right, back to it. Let's go to step 6. This is keeping your LLC in good standing. Forming it is only the beginning. Most states require annual reports and fees. The rules vary by state, so staying in compliance matters. Failure to do this could obviously lead to penalties and even suspension of your entity. So the real question is, should you even be opening up an LLC? How do I know if I should be opening up an LLC? The point is really, your personal assets are secure if your business is sued. Only the business assets are generally at risk. Another benefit is simplicity. LLCs are way easier to manage than corporations like an S Corp or a C Corp. They offer flexibility for management and ownership. Keep in mind, LLCs usually have pass-through taxation. If you just have a normal LLC, that usually means the profits are going to go onto your personal income taxes and you'll only file one return and only be taxed once. That is if you do not elect into more advanced tax strategies when opening up an LLC. So guys, setting up an LLC is not complicated. It's actually super easy. The problem is doing it right because of all the jargon and all the terms. Sometimes it gets a little bit confusing. Many people complete the process in just a few days. I've created LLCs for clients in just a few hours. Where you need to wait is waiting for the state to approve your formation. Some states take a couple days, some states take a couple weeks. It depends on the backlog that they have. If you have any questions or need clarifications, write in the comments below. I will answer you directly. And if this video helped you, I would greatly appreciate if you liked and subscribed so that I could continue making content like this. Catch you guys in the next video, and I appreciate the support.